with Season 9 of ACC DRL Racing. My name is Dan Delatorre. Hello and welcome to another exciting season here at the DRL. We are so excited to get Season 9 kicked off with what should be another incredible season, coming off what was an amazing Season 1. You need a little more volume? I got you, Turk. Turk, and welcome to the chat. Let me know if this is a little better for you. Before we get started here, as always, we want to take just a quick moment to thank all of our wonderful Patreon subscribers. Without you, we could not do what we do here. So a big thank you to everyone who is on this list. 9 amazing seasons here at DRL. What will be the story of this season? A few changes this season compared to last season. Let's take a look first at the schedule. This season, we will be starting off in Monza tonight, the Temple of Speed. Long, fast straights, hard-braking turns. How will the drivers handle the chaos? After that, we're going to go right into a mystery track. Where will it be? I don't know. You don't know, but we will find out together next week. After that, we carry on with our M tracks with Misano. After Misano, we'll head off to Valencia. After Valencia, we are going to find ourselves at the 24-hour Nürburgring with a reverse grid. So that will definitely make it interesting for the 24-hour Nürburgring race. After that, we'll find ourselves at the Hungaroring in Hungary. We'll go to Zolder, and then we will finish off the season with another mystery track. What will it be? I don't know. You don't know, but we will find out then. Some changes to the season. We have moved back to 2 classes. We have pro drivers and we have pro-am drivers. Let's take a look at our pro drivers this season. We have Kyle Hirsch. We have Gav Cook, Arturus Hermanus, Neil Kerbel. Senior Tarugo finds himself, after a championship win, up to the pro category. Jake DeShong is a new driver. Welcome to DRL, Jake. Daniel Hirsch, Albert Ganilla returns and has moved up to the pro class. Professor Kronotis, and rounding out the pro class, Juan Lopez, who has also got promoted to pro. As we take a look at our Pro-Am drivers, we have Alan Leung, John Millot, our creamiest driver, Creamy Von Cream, Will Sanchez, Christopher Black, Jim Kelly. Both of those are new drivers to the grid, so welcome to DRL. We have Marion Satsara returning. We have Jonas Kayadis, and we have Gannon Faust, who are both new drivers as well. This is going to be so exciting to watch. As we see, we have about 39 seconds left in practice right now. We will ride along for that. We may have a little bit of technical difficulties tonight because I had some issues with the RAM on my computer and one of my 2 sticks malfunctioned. So I just am running off one until I get that replaced. We might be a little scuffed to start this week off, but would we be a DRL stream if we didn't have some scuffing going on somewhere? We'll see how bad it is. Hopefully it is not too bad as we get started out here. I hope everyone had a very good holiday season. A Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and whatever it is that you celebrate, I hope you celebrated it and you enjoyed it. I am so excited to be back. It feels like just yesterday we were here rounding out such an exciting Season 8. Battles up and down the grid, qualifying battles, race battles. We saw battles everywhere, and I cannot wait to see how this story plays out this season. Who will be rivals? Who will be battles? How will these new drivers affect the grid? We are going to find this all out over the course of the next couple months together. We ride along with last season's champion, Neil Kerbel, as he makes his way through the track, rounding out the last couple turns here at Monza. Well, the first couple turns here at Monza, actually. As we work our way through our last couple drivers here. Car number 420, Professor Kronotis, is rounding out his final lap. as we finish off with Neil Kerbel, who is in this awesome new livery that he created. Absolutely magnificent. The liveries we have here at DRL are great. I don't know if it's supposed to be a Cheshire Cat, but it's definitely giving me Cheshire Cat vibes. Now we work our way through the final turn here at Monza, and we will get diving right into our qualifying session. Gav, thank you for the subscribing 11 months in a row. Next year's our 1-year anniversary. I cannot wait. Where are you taking me? All right, let's hop on with some of these drivers we have got into qualifying. We start off, as always, we split our qualifying up into 2 classes. We have our Pro-Am drivers who will get the first 10 minutes of qualifying all to themselves on the track. After 10 minutes, they will finish up their lap, and then the pro drivers will get the track to see what they can do. Gav's going to take me out to Scottsdale. I cannot wait, Gav. I'm going to hold you to that. Spring training, perfect time of the year. Beers and baseball, can't beat it. We are riding out here with John Malott as he took a curve. John Malott is one of our veteran drivers here at DRL. Going to be exciting what to see he can do this season. He was battling for an overall podium last season. Will he be able to continue that streak? He has put up some mega times in our server, but can that translate to consistency on the track? It's so important out here when you're on the track, not just to be fast, but to be consistent. Can we find that consistency from our Pro-Am drivers? In a lot of cases, that's what separates the Pro-Ams from the pros. Lap after lap, consistency. We're going to ride along with John Malott here as he gets ready to do his first lap in his new Kellogg livery. Amazing liveries, as always, by John Malott, who does them himself. He does commission work, so you will find his liveries all over the place. A lot of new drivers this season, especially in the Pro-Am class. It's always interesting to see where the new drivers will find themselves, how they will evolve over the course of the season, as John Malott is going to get started on his first lap here. Some of these new drivers, it can take them a race or two to adjust to the driving style, just to the league format, especially if they're new to leagues as a whole. So it'll be very interesting as John's going to invalidate right off the bat. He's going to hit the barrier. Let's hop on with car number. It looks like 97 is out on a lap. 107 that was, which is Will Sanchez, another veteran here at DRL. Continues to improve year after year to see what he can find out here on his first lap of qualifying. Not the start that John Malott was probably hoping, but it does happen. Let's hop over to our magnificent helicopter cam. Thanks to all of our Patreon supporters, our DRL helicopter. Will is moving beautifully through this track so far, using all the available space to see what kind of lap time he can put up. An interesting fact about Monza here is it is a very popular track for drivers to drive as you go through your, tutorials here. If you go single player, you're just Monza, Monza, Monza. Everyone's on Monza. Not a lot of turns, easy track to learn. Everyone's really familiar with it. But this is only the 3rd time that we've done it here at DRL over 9 seasons. We did it once in Season 2. We did it once, I believe, in Season 7. Which it came up as a mystery track, and it was chaos as a mystery track as Will Sanchez comes through with a 153 to put up the first time here. Let's hop on with Marian Satsara as he is wheel to wheel with somebody here who is not aware you cannot overtake in qualifying. That is going to be a penalty. This is one of our new drivers, Christopher Black. Although technically he has not passed, there is no rule about putting pressure on the drivers. We have Jim Kelly, who's also put up the fastest time here. Jim Kelly's put up a 150.8 to have the fastest time. Marion Sassar is a 151.3. Mr. Black is a 152.4. And Sanchez is a 153 flat. Alan Leung's going to come in, another veteran here, with a 151.222. Some amazing times here as we continue to ride along with Jim Kelly, one of our new drivers here, to see what Mr. Kelly is able to do on this track. But yeah, Monza is a track that leads itself to chaos. Very long straights, very late and hard braking opportunities. People try to pass, people try to stick their nose in, and there is not a lot of forgiveness here. Turk, thank you for the subscription. 4 months in a row now. It's amazing how time flies when we're together, Turk. 6-month anniversary is right around the corner. We got to start planning it. In fact, I may be up in your neck of the woods in a few months here. A nice little dinner date or something, if you're where I think you are. Man, Jim is just flying through this track here as he finishes his last couple turns. What a lap for Jim Kelly as he's going to take back pole position from Christopher Black, who took it from him, with a 149.9. Turk, I'm going to be in Dallas, not too far away. That's a hop, skip, and a jump. But what a lap for Jim Kelly. We got ourselves a battle here. I mean, Jim Kelly comes in with a 149.9, first Pro-Am driver to get under the 150 mark. Alan Leung is right behind him with a 150.1. We have Ionis, who's there with the 150.2. We have Chris with the 150.8. We got Sassara with the 158.2. We got Will Sanchez with the 152. John Malot's back on the track. He puts up a Baker 157.3. But this is absolutely incredible here. Alan Leung. Alan is a 2-time champion here at DRL. Can he find his form to become a 3-time champion? There are not many 3-time champions here at DRL. A prime season for Alan to do it. If he wants to capture that victory, tonight is the night to start that rally. We have a lot of new drivers. They're going to take a race or two to adjust. They're going to find their footing as we go. Get your points now while they're available. You need to. We're going to crack open a cold one here in honor of Season 1. Or Season 9, Race 1. Ionis is going to come up with a 150.032. Absolutely incredible. He is only 300ths behind Jim right now. These rookies are coming in with a bang. What can Alan do here? Can he find some time as he's going to cross the line? He's going to find time, but it's not quite enough. A 150.05. He is 2/1000ths of a second behind Ionis right now. Absolutely incredible times here. Excuse me, that's 200th. We have Ionis, who is 300ths behind Jim. We have Leung, who is 200ths behind Ionis. We have Chris, who is 3/10ths behind. Well, he was 3/10ths behind, not anymore. John Malott is right there. John Malott finds himself with the 150.3. He is 3/10ths behind Alan Leung. What a lap for John Malott, who has recovered from a very devastating start to your qualifying. When you have a bad start to your qualifying like this, it can absolutely derail the whole thing for you mentally. You can get in your head. You start to put the pressure. John absorbs pressure. What a qualifying lap for him. Right now, Alan Leung is still out on a lap. He's not improving. Let's hop off with Chris Black here as he works his way through the second half, working his way right now, coming out of the chicane. This is an easy spot to lose the car. He's going to handle it perfectly. He is up right now by 1.1 seconds. If he can complete this lap, this is going to be mega. But Marian Satsara, he just comes across. Marian Satsara comes through at the last minute with the pole position. A 149.4. Incredible by Marian Satsara. What a lap. Can Christopher Black overtake him here? He's up by a second. He's losing a little bit of time coming under this turn. Coming down the final main straight. Will he have the pace to get Satsara? He will not. A 149.7. He is unable to pass him as qualifying is over for our Pro-Am division. What a start to the season. What a start to qualifying. Unbelievable here. Marian Satsara, pole position with a 149.4. Welcome back to Season 9, Marian Satsara. Right behind him, rookie Christopher Black with a 149.7. Incredible start to the season for Christopher Black. We cannot forget about Jim Kelly with the 149.9. Ioannis Kaiatis, a 150 flat. Alan Leung, a 150 flat. John Malott, a 150.3. Will Sanchez is right there with the 151.8. And Gannon Faust with the 153.2. What a start to the season. What a start to the qualifying. Unbelievable. Great driving by every single one of these drivers. Let's see who is leading us out. Car number 402, Kyle Hirsch is leading us out. Let's hop on with Kyle Hirsch right now. Absolutely incredible start to qualifying though. I can't believe it. I'm losing my mind already, and we are just starting this race. This is so embarrassing for me. I have practice overlay up. What a silly goose I am. But that was an incredible qualifying to start right where we picked off from last season. Unbelievable. And I know I've said unbelievable an unbelievably amount of times, but it is unbelievable what we're seeing here as we got a start. Car number 420 is actually leading, which is Professor... I think Professor Chronotis came out late. Let's get back on with 402. Gotta trust my initial instincts here. Marian Satsara, though. Unbelievable lap to start this off. Kyle Hirsch, who we're riding along with, finally figured out how to set up a livery. Amazing. After a full season of not being able to figure out Kyle Hirsch, we applaud you. Incredible. But we will see. Will we get the excitement here in the pro class that the Pro-Am gave us? Because that was a battle I was not expecting to see. And as always, the last lap, absorbing the pressure. It's what these drivers do best. Kyle's just carrying so much speed through the chicane here. Again, right here, such an easy spot to lose the car, to unsettle it. But no, expertly done. That's why he's a pro. Trailed by Neil Kerbel. Neil, who's looking to defend his title. Neil also won the Constructors title as well. We will get some information about the teams as we get on to next week's stream. I do believe that Neil has teamed up with... Who has he teamed up with? He has teamed up with Hermanis, I believe. As we get the drivers coming through this start straight finish, we have Neil Kerbel, who has put up pole position initially with the 148.2. His teammate, Arturus Hermanis, right behind him by 1/100th of a second. Kyle Hirsch, a 148.6 right behind him. Gav Cook, a 148.7. Sorry, Kyle Hirsch was a 148.4. We got a 148.8 from Tarugo. Daniel Hirsch with a 148.9. Incredible start also here by our pro drivers as well. Kaitis has got to get back into the pit lanes. That's all right. Let's ride along with Tarugo here. Tarugo was a champion last season in what was our bronze division, our first drivers champion for Tarugo. He has moved from bronze to pro. And he is coming out not even flinching, only half a second behind the great and powerful Neil Kerbel, the sommelier himself, the curator of cats. So we see some cars working their way through these final turns here. Looks like Kyle Hirsch is getting ready to finish another lap. How much will he improve? He will get up to pole position with that lap, but Neil's right behind him, and Neil takes it right back by 0.03 of a second. Arturas Hermanis, he comes up, and Arturas takes pole position. Welcome to Pro Class, Arturas Hermanis with a 147.9. Unbelievable. So we see Tarugo going through the opening chicane here. Again, another easy place to lose time. Unbelievable lap by Hermanis. Hermanis also welcome to Pro Class. Arturas Hermanis is a two-time champion. I believe a back-to-back champion. But don't quote me on that. I tend to get my seasons a little mixed up here. He looks to make it a third in pro, ? Daniel Hirsch with a mega lap with a 148.0. He finds himself in second place. Daniel Hirsch also ran in the gold class last season. Brother Kyle Hirsch was in platinum. Daniel definitely carried a chip on his shoulder. Now he's out battling with his brother again. From Team Hirsch Racing, as always, there is no love lost between these two brothers, as they will shed sweat, blood, and tears out on this track for our entertainment. It's incredible. As we ride along with Arturas Hermanis, he's going to work his way through the chicane here, and he is going to do it masterfully as always. A beautiful thing as he follows in the trail of Senior Tarugo. Two DRL champions pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible. As we come around through the final turn here, we cross the line, and Hermanis is not able to find enough. Kyle Hirsch is actually able to jump him as well with a 147.7. We have a few drivers here. Daniel Hirsch is going to come through with a pole position. Kyle Hirsch, Daniel Hirsch, the brothers take it from Hermanis. Team Hirsch Racing, which lost out in the constructors last season to Neil Kerbel and the great veteran Tyler Morgan from Morgan Motorsports. They're back. Hirsch Brothers versus Hermanis and Kerbel. I'm not even going to attempt to say their team name. Hermanis, after you watch the stream back, DM me how I say your team's name. Harriet Bjorklöven? Harriet Bjorklöven Racing? I'm probably butchering that as we see Tarugo go off in the back. Who's improving? My old teammate, my pal, Gavin Cook is improving. Braun GP, Gav, he's still out there representing Braun GP after a off-season retirement announcement from the Minister of Defense here at DRL, Spencer Braun. No, he is not doing an international tour. Spencer Braun has decided to hang up the gloves, retire the rig for ACC. Another legend here at DRL, an OG. What a lap here by Gavin Cook, who's able to cross the line with a 148.1. Great lap for Gavin Cook. But yes, unfortunately, Spencer Braun has retired from ACC for now, unless you join our Discord and beg him to come back, and maybe Spencer will grace us with his presence. But what a lap by Gav Cook. Who's up on a lap right now? Neil Kerbal has improved while we've been chit-chatting here. Albert Guinea, let's hop on with him. Guinea did not make last season, but in Season 7, he had a battle with Hermanis. And to be honest, Guinea probably could have won it. But unfortunately, that wasn't how it played out. We have 3, 2, 1. Qualifying is over. The drivers are finishing their laps. Car number 402, which is Daniel Hirsch, Kyle Hirsch, excuse me, is going to be our last driver to cross the line. Huda Fauzi, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for subscribing with Prime. So grateful for that. I'm not sure, Gannon, if that's you. Fauzi and Faust is pretty close, but if it is, thank you for popping in. Thank you for blessing us with your Prime subscription. But we follow along with Guinea here and see what he can put up. But Guinea missed last season, and he finds himself back in the pro category. What is he going to be able to do? What kind of time can he put up? He's up, Gav Cook is up, and Kyle Hirsch is up. Kyle Hirsch, we're going to pop over to him right now. No, we're going to stay with Guinea. Guinea is going to come through and finish, and then we're going to pop over to Kyle Hirsch. Guinea is up by about 2/10. Can he finish strong through this final turn? We're going to follow along with, who are we going to follow along with? Kyle Hirsch. Also, Kyle Hirsch is up. Is it going to be enough to jump? Will he find himself in the top position, a pole position, maybe even? We're coming down the straight here, and we find that it is not enough. Third place. What a qualifying session. Daniel Hirsch, pole position. Welcome to pro with the 147.54. Neil Kerbal with the 147. Well, I lost my times, but Neil Kerbal was thousandths behind him. That was an incredible qualifying session. Oh, man. Whew. Gotta catch my breath there. Another amazing qualifying session. Let's walk up and down the grid here. Do our classic DRL grid walk. Look at all the new and beautiful liveries of our drivers. Bert, welcome to the stream. So happy to have you here as we do our wonderful grid walk here. Bert, you missed an incredible qualifying session by both the Pro-Ams and the Pro class tonight. Huge shout out to our Pro-Ams, though, who absolutely battled it out every single lap, and it came down to the wire. And even in the pros, I mean, we're talking thousandth of a second difference between Daniel Hirsch on pole position and Neil Kerbal, who's in second with this amazing Cheshire Cat livery. Neil, correct me if I'm wrong. We have Kyle Hirsch out here with the wonderful yellow livery. Artur Shamanis, beautiful car, number 44. Love the livery. In fifth place, we have Gav Cook, rocking the same Braun GP livery as last season. It's cool, it's clean, it's Gav. We got Guinea back on the track with a nice classic blue with a white racing stripe. You'll love to see it. We have Professor Chronotis rocking the lime green 420 car. Light one for Chronotis, if that's your jam. Juan Lopez hasn't got talked about much today, but Juan Lopez is back on the grid in the pro class. And we have Tarugo, who's rounding out the pro class. Tarugo's made his way up essentially from AM to pro in one season, and to be honest, all of these times were incredibly close. A huge shout out to Lopez, Tarugo, Hermanis. All these guys came and they are performing way better than I think anyone expected. And that's not to be shade at them. That's just the reality of the situation. They're racing incredibly fast drivers and they have not blinked an eye. Let's move on to our Pro-Am class. Marion Sathsar is going to get an incredible final lap to find himself in pole position for the Pro-Am class. Followed by new driver Ioannis Kaiatis. Ioannis, if I'm saying that wrong, please, please, please DM me. I want to get this right for you guys. Then we have Christopher Black with a nice Mountain Dew livery. Got to do the do, baby. Then we got Jim Kelly in the nice Lexus Total car. We got Alan Leung. I don't know if Alan's just... It looks like Alan's just rocking a nice, classic black livery. Alan Leung, let's see what you can do out here in the race. Alan, historically, doesn't always have the best qualifying sessions, but then he comes out and dominates you in the race. And you just wonder, where was this pace in qualifying? But you'll see it over the course of the next 45 minutes. Then we got John Millot in the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes Tony the Tiger. John, let me tell you what I think of that livery. It's great! All right, and we got Will Sanchez as well, rocking the same livery here as Tarugo. I'm not paying attention enough. If Cyber Crooms, they are on a team together. Let's hop over and take a quick look. They are on a team together, Will and Tarugo. Surprise, surprise, they're sharing a livery. And rounding out the grid, we have rookie driver Gannon Faust of Goofy Racing. You love to see it. That is a nice livery, a nice cream color livery. Love the little purple spoiler on that as well. You love to see it. Let's hop off with the Helicam. We have 50 seconds until the race starts. Do we have any predictions in chat? Will Daniel Hirsch hold his pole position and win his first race in the pro class? Will Marion Sathsar hold it? Will we see a rookie win tonight? What will happen? Who will find themselves on pole position? If you have a prediction, I want to hear it. As always, if there is a driver you want us to follow along with, to ride along with, get inside the car, Helicam, TV cam, bumper, bonnet, interior, passenger, you name it, just let us know in chat and we will hop over and we will give them some stream time. We love our drivers, we love our viewers, and in 5 seconds we are going to start, as always here at DRL, with a full out lap. The drivers can heat their tires, they're going to start their engines, and they're going to mentally prepare for a 45-minute battle. Daniel Hirsch gets a great start off the line. If only his race can start that good, he will not be complaining. Monza is crazy because it is a long straight, especially on a rolling start, to a slow chicane. What drivers are going to have incidents happen? What chaos is going to happen here? Monza, it's almost unavoidable. Especially when you got a bunch of degenerates like this. If Daniel can find himself getting off the line cleanly, fastly, and avoid any chaos, that could be a huge advantage for him. And you know, we will need to make a little note here as well, just to go back and check. Ioannis did stay out on track. I don't know if he improved his time or what happened, so we will need to go back and verify. I do think he still finished in second place, but we just want to make sure for Christopher and Jim that we are checking to make sure. And just a little mental note for all of our staff out there. We will want to remind our drivers of the qualifying split. We see Daniel swerving around a little bit. Heating those tires, warming that car. As always, preparing himself to start Season 9 of ACC here at DRL. And I'm still in like shock and awe that we're at 9 seasons already. It does really feel like yesterday we made the transition from F1 to ACC. The league has grown so much. We also have iRacing on Monday nights as well. We get together for other fun races. We do endurance racing. It's such a great community, and we'd love to have you part of it. Join us on Discord if you're here and you're not part of Discord. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you joining, whether you want to get out here in ACC with us, whether you want to get iRacing, whether you just want to have a community to hang out and watch IRL races or just connect with other people who are into motorsports. We would love to have you. We're coming down the final straight here before we get to the last turn. We're going to have these cars lining up side by side any second now. Daniel versus Neil for the start of this race. Can Daniel get the jump? Will the great and powerful Neil Kerbel be able to use his expertise to carve up Daniel Hirsch? What will happen? We will see. We will find out shortly. So far, so good. If Daniel and Satsara get through clean, or excuse me, if Daniel and Neil Kerbel get through clean, I may hop quickly back to Satsara and see if we can catch any sort of chaos from the back of the grid a little bit more. Satsara's kind of dead center in 10th place there, see what he can have. As we work our way through, we're getting ready to cross our line. Season 9 is about to start officially here at DRL. We're waiting for the lights to go green, and they are green. We are off, and Neil Kerbel gets an incredible jump. Neil Kerbel's going to get that position, I think. He's just got too much speed, an incredible jump, but right behind him, we're actually going to hop over to Kyle Hirsch. We're going to see what kind of chaos here. We're 3 wide between him, Gavin Cook, and it looks like Hermanis as well is right in the mix. What are they going to do? Hermanis is going to wisely back out, but that's going to open the door for Gania to get through. What kind of chaos do we have in the back? Let's try to hop back there and see what we can see. It is clean for the most part, incredibly so. We're riding along with Juan Lopez right now. We went down that main straight 3 wide. Thankfully, Hermanis had the foresight to back out of it as we see Juan Lopez, who is chasing him down. It did cost Hermanis positions, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Neil Kerbel is holding first place. He has that gap up to a 2.5 seconds, doing Kerbel things. There's a reason why he is the great and powerful Neil Kerbel, and what will be known this season as the sommelier and the curator of cats, for his love of cats and wine. Daniel Hirsch is behind him here. Daniel Hirsch, as I said, is about a 1.5 seconds behind Neil Kerbel. His brother Kyle Hirsch is about a second behind him. He has Gav Cook 0.3 behind him. This is a close battle. Is Kyle Hirsch going to play team orders and hold back Gav Cook? Spoiler, no, he is not. He is going to chase down his brother if he can, but Gav may have other thoughts. Hermanis is behind him, and Juan Lopez is only 0.5 seconds behind Hermanis. Behind Lopez is Chronotis. Chronotis is about 1 second behind Lopez, but only 0.4 behind him is Gania on his return to DRL. Behind Gania is Tarugo, who is 0.8 behind him. Behind Tarugo was his rival last season, Marian Sath-Sara. Marian Sath-Sara started in pole position for the Pro-Am class, and he has held that position. 0.8 behind him is Ionis, who is still in second place. Behind him is John Millot. John Millot has worked his way up the grid. John Millot is about a second behind Ionis as he kind of slips and slides out of that final part of the chicane, but no problem at all. Jim Kelly is right behind him. Jim Kelly is working his way down. He is 1.6 seconds behind Millot. 1.8 seconds behind Kelly is Chris Black. Behind Chris Black, we have Gannon Faust. Gannon Faust has made his way up 2 places, I believe, so far. Behind Gannis by 3/10 is Alan Leung. And we're going to see Alan Leung get a little bump draft going into the corner from Will Sanchez. You don't want to see it. Gannon Faust is going to run wide. Chaos here in the back of the grid. Alan Leung is going to hold on to that position because Will's not going to take it. A little late on the brakes. It happens to the best of us. It doesn't look like too much damage for Leung. Will Sanchez gives the position back. Gannon Faust, unfortunately with the chaos, runs wide. Maybe looking in his mirrors a little too much. Where do we have a battle up on the grid? Let's see if Daniel Hirsch can catch Neil. He's got that from a second and a half down to 5/10 of a second. As I said, as we work our way through the season, what will be the story of the season? What will be the rivalries? What will be the battles? We will see. Will Ionis and Marion have a battle here in Pro-Am? Looking like Gania and Chronotis are battling head-to-head. Juan Lopez and Hermanis, will they carry over their battle from last season? Gav Cook and the Hirsch brothers battling lap after lap in Season 8. Will we see it again? It looks like we will. We're along with Gav Cook, who is only 4/10 behind Kyle Hirsch. He's closing down on the main straight. Will he have the run-up to get it? It would be an insane lunge. He's not going to take it wisely. He's going to look to maximize his exit speed, see what he can line up for turn 3 out here. Will he make the space? Still at 4/10. Now we're down to 3/10. Can he find any improvement? But at the same time, Juan Lopez right behind is only 3/10 behind Hermanis. Hermanis is 1 second behind Gav Cook, who finds himself in 4th place overall. Gav Cook, is this his opportunity to make a move? Can he break late? He's not going to. He is going to break late. He's going to sniff that tailpipe, as the great Tyler Morgan once said. He is right behind him. He's not going to be able to make that move. Let's take a quick look at Juan Lopez as he continues his last season's battle with Arturas Hermanis. A beat not lost between these. No love lost between these two rivals. Juan Lopez is going to run a little wide, and that's going to give him some breathing room. Who else can we look at? None other than Albert Gania, who has returned to the track to chase down Professor Chronotis. 5/10 as he looks to do it. What else can we see? We see John Malott. John Malott has overtaken Ionis. Did he overtake him off skill? Did he overtake him off ability? Or did he overtake him off a mistake? It doesn't matter because John Malott finds himself in 2nd place in the Pro-Am class as he's chasing down Marion Cesar. And Marion Cesar is going to lose into the turn. That's going to open up. John's going to take it. Ionis is going to take it. One mistake by Marion Cesar. He finds himself 2 spots down the grid, and John Malott finds himself in 1st place in the Pro-Am category. What an incredible start to the season for John Malott, but he still has 40 minutes. Can he hold on to that? And San Satsara find his rhythm back? Marion has great pace. He needs to find consistency, and he needs to find it now. Tarugo is closing the gap on Albert Gania. He's looking to find himself out of last place in the pro category, only 7/10 behind him as he works his way down the main straight. Can he find any time by breaking a little bit later into these first chicane? Can he find any time with a great exit speed? We will find out momentarily here as you just see that gap close as they break. He comes out beautifully through this. Can he hold the traction? He can. He's going to improve, but not enough to look to make any moves. Arturas Hermanis, he's closed that gap on Kyle Hirsch. Gav Cook has got past him. So as we've been watching these battles, Gav has found his way past one of the 2 Hirsch brothers as he looks to chase down Daniel Hirsch. Arturas Hermanis is right on the back of Kyle Hirsch, who's going to cut the track there. He's not going to make that turn, breaking too late. Kyle's had to make a mistake somewhere, or contact had to be made between those drivers. We have battles up and down the grid. I cannot keep my mind. Marion Cesar and Ionis, they are side by side. Marion's going to get through. He's going to find that gap. Marion's going to get 2nd place. Watch out, John, because Marion Satsar is coming for you, but John is starting to absolutely run away with this. John has put up some mega times in our practice server. We find him half a lap. He's already found almost 3 seconds on Satsara. Incredible. But Jim Kelly is right there. He's looking to make a move on Ionis. 2 rookies battling for domination of the rookies in the Pro-Am class. What are they going to do? Jim is not. He's going to back out here. He's going to wait for the next opportunity. We're going to follow them along this main straight. See what he can do. Will he find an opportunity? We have battles up and down the grid here right now. We have Kyle Hirsch is half a second behind Gav. Arturas is half a second behind him. 7/10 for Juan Lopez. 7/10 for Professor Chronotis. Jim Kelly is closing the gap here. He is right behind Ionis. He's getting great exit speed here, but he ran a little bit too close. He had to brake, and that compromised his exit. Unfortunate for Jim Kelly. This is going to hinder him as he comes down this long straight as he looks to make some type of opportunity. Will he make it? He won't. Unfortunately. going to ride along with Hermione's. I am going to take a quick break. I'm going to step away for 1 second. All right, we are back. What have we missed in my moment of separation? I do apologize for that, as I had a crying child that needed attending. Wow, we got Kyle Hirsch. He's looking to close the gap here on Gav Cook. Looks like we made it back just in time. What will happen here? Oh, they are going to go side by side. Kyle's got the inside. That's going to be the better line. He's going to open up. Hermione's is going to look to stick a nose somewhere it probably doesn't belong. He's going to see what he can do. Incredible right now. Neil Kerbel is still down in first place. Daniel Hirsch is 6/10 behind him. Daniel Hirsch has closed that gap. I step away for 1 second, and Daniel Hirsch is 6/10 behind Neil Kerbel. 2.5 seconds behind Kyle Hirsch, who found himself back ahead. Hermione's right here. Juan Lopez still right behind him. Let's take a look at the back of the grid. What has gone on here? We have Marian Satsara 3.5 seconds behind John Malott. 3.5 seconds behind him is Jim Kelly. Christopher Black, 1.5 seconds behind him. Ionis, he's fallen down a few places here. What has happened? Is it the pressure? Was it an incident? Unfortunately, we will not find out until later. Alan Leung, he's looking to make his way through the grid. Will Sanchez, 5 seconds behind Alan Leung. And Gannon Faust, who's taking a little beach trip viewing the sights of Monza, is 6 seconds behind. Let's get back up to the front of this grid here. 3/10, Arturas Hermanis chasing down Gav Cook of Braun Racing. What is he going to be able to do, as Gav is still trying to close that gap on Kyle Hirsch. Kyle Hirsch got in front of him. Gav is about 1 second behind him now. Arturas Hermanis is right behind him. Gav is going to lose time in his attack on Kyle, because he's going to have to defend from Arturas, who is vicious in his rear view mirror. And Arturas cannot slow down at all because he has Juan Lopez 0.5 second behind him. Juan is not ready to give up on Arturas. As we work our way down to the main straight, what are we going to see here? 0.5 second, 7/10. We also want to keep our eye on Daniel Hirsch as he continues to chase him down. And oh, we have a driver who's gone off track. Car number 30, Chris Black. So unfortunate. Let's see if we can go back and see what happened here. Looks like we just spun out. Big props to Christopher there for making sure that he did not have anything happen. Let's hop back over with our battle here. This is our closest battle. We also have Marian Satsar, who's pulled into the pits. He is our first driver to take their mandatory pit stop. As always here at DRL, you are required to take one mandatory pit stop. We do have a pit window that opens for the first it starts after the first 5 minutes and ends before the last 5 minutes of the race. During that time, you must take fuel. Tires are optional, repairs are optional, but you must take at least 1 liter of fuel. As we continue to watch this battle here, I mean, this is so close. We have Hermanis, who's fallen a bit off, but Juan Lopez is just right there on him. Let's hop back into our helicopter. TV1 a little better. No, I mean, whew, look at these drivers go. But no, let's hop off of the helicam, see if we can get the biggest picture possible. Arturas has fallen a bit behind, but Juan has not. With that said, let me go back. I kind of lost my train of thought there in the excitement of this battle, but mandatory pit stop. You must take fuel, at least 1 liter. For the most part, the meta strategy here is to wait until the pit window is very close to closing and do what's called a splash and dash. Take 1 liter of fuel, 5 liters, a very small amount. Get in, get out as quickly as possible, but you fuel heavy. You basically fuel for the full race. and then you go from there. Hermione's is closing the gap on Cook. That's down to 0.3 of a second right now as they work their way down to the first chicane. Arturis is not going to have the room to make a move. Or did I speak too early? He's going to fake to the inside, but then he thinks about it. Is that going to cause him to run a little bit wide? No, it's not. He's going to hold on to that well as he still looks to close that gap. Marion Satsara is our first driver to successfully complete his pit stop. You can tell because it's green next to the number there on our overall standings. If it is green, that means they have successfully completed their pit stop. Sometimes drivers pull into the pit lanes and for whatever reason they don't successfully complete it. Maybe it's a penalty that they're serving or something else. So it's a way that you can always tell. Marion has chosen to take it early and see if he can make an undercut strategy work here. Marion had great pace as we saw because he qualified pole position for the Pro-Am class. Give himself some clean air to run. You can see there's no one really around him on the track and put up some fast lap time and see if you can close that gap. Will Sanchez is going to find himself getting a stop and go penalty. Very unfortunate. I'm guessing that's for track limits. You hate to see it. Do we have any other battles up and down the grid right now? We don't. Neil Kerbel's really been able to push that gap. Let's hop on with him for just a moment as we hop on the hood of his car. And we have an instant out on the track of car 85. Unfortunate. That is John Malott. Oh, man. What has happened to John Malott? Let's go back 30 seconds in time. John ran wide and John spun. John spun into a wall. He is facing the wrong way. John, you cannot park there. He's going to accelerate into a wall again, trying to get out of the way and do the safe thing. So unfortunate for John Malott, who had the lead in his hands. He is teleported to the pits. That might be the race for John Malott. You hate to see it, but with that said, that is going to put Jim Kelly in first place. Jim Kelly, welcome to DRL. You are currently in first place, but as we've seen Marion Satsara in first place. We've seen Ionis in first place. We've seen Milan in first place. Just because you're there now doesn't mean you'll be there in 30 minutes when it matters. But unfortunate for John Malott. Hopefully he can get back out there. Hopefully he can recover and he can capture as many points as possible. It's a long season. Each driver gets one drop round. You want that drop round to be your worst position. If you can come back, you can make up a place or two. Do it. Get out there. Every single point matters, and we see it every single season. You get to the end, and it's like if I had 1 or 2 more points, it would have made a difference. Capture those points early because you don't know what's going to happen at the end of the season. And too many times we see drivers regret bowing out early of a race that they could have captured a few more points in. Still a great battle here. Juan Lopez, Professor Chronotis has got in there. Juan gets a little squirrely. That's going to open up the door for Professor Chronotis, who's going to take that position. I don't think Arturis Romanis is going to mind about that. A little bit of a different color in his rear view mirror, but Juan's not going to give that up easily. Juan's going to look to capture that back as quickly as possible. He's going to see if he can get a great exit speed here. Can he make a move on the first? Can he feint a move to the inside or the outside? Can he force Chronotis to get defensive, lose a tenth, 2 tenths, somewhere on the track? That's all that matters to him. And he's not going to be able to close it by enough. He's going to be right behind him, but finally a little bit of breathing room for Hermione's. Hermione's needs to capitalize on this. He needs to start to run away from this battle. Let Lopez and Chronotis battle. We're going to see something exciting, I think, going into this next turn here because Chronotis is right. Lopez is right on the back of Chronotis. Chronotis is taking the inside. That's going to open up the outside for Juan. He's probably going to look to do some type of switchback move. Break a little bit earlier, see if he can get around, get a better exit. Great defense by Professor Chronotis. Absolutely veteran move. It looks like he's been studying some Spencer Braun tape. Juan looks to maybe feint it on the inside, but Chronotis is going to hold the middle of the track. He's not giving anything up. Juan, get behind me because I am the man right now. Great defense by Professor Chronotis. Let's quickly look at Daniel Hirsch here. Daniel Hirsch has closed that gap. I lied. We're going back. We can't leave a battle when it's battling. Juan's going to see what he can do here. Professor Chronotis moves to the inside, gets back onto the racing line. Fair move, fair defense. Professor Chronotis is looking in those rear view mirrors. It has given Arcturus 2.5 second gap right now. That's what happens when you got to get defensive. You lose time. Arcturus Hermanus, he is not complaining about that at all. Where else do we have a battle? Let's look at Alan Leung. Alan Leung is looking to chase down rookie Ionis. He is 6/10 right now. Can he find some type of opportunity? Can he force a mistake? Get in Ionis's mirrors. Show him how a veteran would overtake a rookie. We will see. We're also keeping a close look at Juan Lopez. He's 4/10 right now. Not really looking to make too much of a move. 2/10, but they're going down the main straight here. And I don't think there's really much that's going to happen at this point in the track. Al Leung is falling back a little bit, so let's go back over to Juan. They've come out of that first chicane. Juan is still behind him. These next couple turns is where Juan's going to look to force a nose on the inside. Can he get enough overlap to force space? Chronotis is holding the middle. Juan's going to look to go to the outside. Chronotis is going to hold the inside line again into the second chicane. He's going to kind of try to get as much space as he can. He's going to open it up, but he's going to lose some speed. This is really going to open up the next turn for Juan. Will he be able to get his nose on the inside? He's not able to get the traction out of the turn that he needs. This is going to open up for Chronotis. He's going to be able to hold it. As long as he doesn't lose any time in this next braking zone, Juan will not have another opportunity here to go, but we can see this is where drivers could run a little wide. You dip a toe on the sand, you are spinning like our good friend John Malott, but this is expertly done by Professor Chronotis. He's going to hold Juan Lopez for now. Keeping an eye on the time charts. Alan Leung is still half a second behind. That is our other battle, so we want to kind of keep an eye on that as well. We move through the back chicane here. Done great by both drivers. Not really going to open up anything. Let's see if Alan Leung can force a mistake somewhere. They come out of the turn here. Ionis handles the pressure perfectly, absorbing it like a sponge. Speaking of sponges, we want to take a second to... Oh, you can barely see it there, but right on the bottom of the back of the car of our Arcturus Hermanus, we have our Scrub Daddy sponsorship. Big shout out to Scrub Daddy, who is sponsoring our Arcturus Hermanus. Why are they sponsoring our Arcturus Hermanus? Because Arcturus is a sponge. He just demonstrated it in this race today. He absorbs pressure. Pour it and pour it and pour it, and just like a Scrub Daddy sponge, he will absorb all of it. He does what a sponge is designed to do. He cleans up and he handles any mess that's thrown at him. Thank you, Scrub Daddy, for a wonderful partnership here. Juan Lopez, he is still chasing down Professor Chronotis. That is up to 7/10. Jim Kelly has pulled into the pits. That's going to open up Ionis to take the lead right now in the Pro-Am class. Chasing him down. Will Al Leung look to make a move here? He will not. He's going to keep lining it up. Al Leung, as Alan Leung does, is consistent. He stays on track. He puts up great times, and he finds himself battling for podiums race after race. Can he force a mistake here as we roll into the chicane? This is an easy chicane to make a mistake on, as we see car 227 has gone off track. That's Gannon Faust. Rookie driver, he has gone a little wide. He has recovered fine. No big deal. Al Leung, are you able to do anything here? Let's move over to our Helicam. You are not able to force any type of mistake. Juan Lopez is still half a second behind Alan Leung, behind Professor Chronotis. So we still want to keep an eye on that as well. Absolute incredible battles. We have two drivers who have taken their pits. We got Jim Kelly, we have Professor Chronotis, we have Christopher Black, who is in the pits as well. He's coming out right now. Always interested to see how these rookie drivers will fare with the pit stop requirements. What has happened to Juan Lopez? Juan Lopez has gone ahead of Professor Chronotis. I don't know if we're going to be able to go far enough back to see what happened. We are. Professor Chronotis went wide. Professor Chronotis carried too much speed. Juan Lopez gets it back. And watch out, Arcturus. Good thing you got yourself a Scrub Daddy sponsorship, because you, my friend, are going to need it, because you got a Juan Lopez chasing you down. Alan Leung has also found himself ahead of Ionis. You haven't seen that yet. We might catch it on the replay here. 3 seconds off the replay. 2 seconds. 1 second. We're not going to catch it. But Alan did get ahead. Surprise, surprise. We teleported to the future. But Ionis is going to look to make a move. He's going to capture the inside. Is he going to get the overlap needed for the space? It looks like he might. Alan is not going to give it. He's going to shut that door and say, you're not welcome in here right now, Ionis. Incredible defensive move by Alan Leung. Incredible driving by Jonas as well to not have any sort of damage happen there. As we talk about this, let's look with Marian Satsara. Marian Satsara, our pole sitter for the Pro-Am class. He is chasing down Gannon Faust. Gannon Faust is a rookie driver. Marian Satsara is a more tenured driver in his second season. Will he find himself in a sophomore slump? Well, it didn't start off too well as we had a little bit of an incident out on track, running wide, losing position. We pit early. We've got an undercut strategy. Will we make that work? We will find out. He currently finds himself, well, half a second behind Gannon Faust, who finds himself 47 seconds behind Jonas. So, Marian's going to have to quickly get past Gannon. He's going to have to start closing that gap on Jonas. He's got 21 minutes and needs to close that gap. Pit stop times, let me see if I can see what these have been roughly. 43 seconds was Marian Satsara. 45 for Will Sanchez. Malott, well, 3 minutes. Malott is back on track, so you love to see that as well. So he's 47 seconds, 48 seconds. He's not too far behind Jonas. I don't know who to watch. They're both 2/10 behind. We're going to look at Jonas because they're going down the main straight here. Is Jonas going to look to make a move again? Make that dive on the inside. It looks like he's got much better overlap than the first time. He gets right behind. He moves to the inside. I don't know why Leung's going to give him the inside, but he is. He definitely has the overlap there. And Jonas, if he can slow the car down, will make it. He can't slow the car down in time. Alan Leung, a veteran move, is going to let the rookie driver lose to himself. It looks like car number 107 has gone off track. That's Will Sanchez as he looks to recover. Marian Satsara has got past Gannon Faust. Oh, Gannon Faust almost runs wide. A great job by Faust to avoid making contact with Satsara, but he's going to find himself in the middle of the track. That's not a good place to find yourself. He's going to recover. John Malott's coming. Great job by Faust. He's going to just sit there. He's going to park it up, and he is going to let the drivers go by. He's going to safely rejoin. You'll love to see that. Jim Kelly, it looks like he ran a little bit wide there as well. Was he just potentially seeing Faust out on the track? Panicked a little bit? We don't know. Man, what a race here. Another big development that we missed. Daniel Hirsch, 5th place. He is pulling in the pit lanes right now. Something happened to Daniel Hirsch. I didn't see it. Did he go wide? Did we have some type of incident? That has opened up Kyle Hirsch to be in 2nd place right now. Following Kyle Hirsch, 3 seconds behind him is Gavin Cook. 1.6 seconds behind him is Arturas Hermanis. We have Professor Chronotis, who's 10 seconds behind Hermanis. We have Tarugo, who is 3 seconds behind Professor Chronotis as he looks to chase him down. We have Daniel Hirsch, who's in the pit lanes right now. We have Juan Lopez, who's in the pit lanes right now. And it looks like Juan Lopez has jumped Daniel Hirsch in the pit lanes. Something happened to Daniel Hirsch. We have Jonas, who's coming to the pit lane. He's going to take a stop here. What's going to happen with Satsara? Will he be able to close that gap? Alan Leung is way up there right now. Alan Leung is... oh, he's really close. They are very close in time. This is a winnable race for Satsara, and this is a winnable race for Leung. We are going to have an absolute battle here in the Pro-Am class. I cannot wait to see how this race ends up playing out. But behind Satsara, 20 seconds behind him, we do have Jim Kelly. Then we have Christopher Black. We have Gannon Faust. We have Will Sanchez. And 1 minute behind, we have John Malott, who's looking to make up as much time as he can. Can he find a place or 2 places? I hope he can for his sake. All right, let's hop back on with Marian Satsara. Marian Satsara, he's jumped Daniel Hirsch. He has jumped Jonas as well. He's going to find himself 30 seconds behind Juan Lopez, who is, about 16 seconds behind Alan Leung. Close those pit stop times. But the difference between Alan Leung and Jonas is this is Jonas' first pit stop here at DRL. His pit stop times are going to improve We've seen it from all the rookies so far. They have slower pit stop times than others. Ionis is at 1 minute and 11 seconds, very slow. Christopher Black, 50 seconds total pit time. You compare that to 43 seconds for Sassar, or 44 for Juan Lopez, veteran, 45 for Will Sanchez. So it just takes a little bit of time for them to learn the best strategies here of what to do. Let's ride along with our race leader right now, Neil Kerbel. We're going to see Kyle Hirsch in the background here, 2 seconds behind. But let's give the great and powerful Neil Kerbel a little bit of stream time here as he looks to start Season 9 off the way he left Season 8 with a big victory. Season 8 was a very dominating season. I'm not sure it was the most dominating season that we've seen to date here in DRL, but it was very dominating. We see some blue flags getting waved in the back as Gav Cook looks to make his way through. Arturas Hermanis is closing the gap. Let's hop on with Hermanis. Hermanis is currently only a second behind Gav Cook as he makes his way through the overlapped cars. I think that was Jim who let him through. Great job by Jim Kelly. Yes, it was. Great job by Jim Kelly to let the lapping cars through. Expertly done. I got to say a huge shout out to our rookies so far. This has been an incredible race by them. A lot of times it takes a second or two to get down blue flags, to get down safe rejoins, just racecraft in general. These guys have shown excellent racecraft. With that said, we've got a lot of drivers who have pit. Juan's pit, Satsar's pit, Hirsch Daniel has pit, Jim Kelly, Ionis, Christopher's pit, and Gannon Faust has pit as well. As we look at Hermanis continue to chase down Gav Cook. Jim Kelly in the background, and we have Gannon Faust as well in the background. Alan Leung's in the pit. Something to watch here. Where will Satsar come out relative to him? How long has he been in the pit for? 25 seconds. Ooh, it's going to be really close, but you know what? We're going to get a battle. Let's hop on with Sassara and see how this plays out. Where does he come out? As we see car 107, Will Sanchez has gone off. He has gone back to the pits, so we'll have to see there. Let's hop on with Alan Leung. He's coming out of the pits. Where's Marion Sassara? Marion Sassara's 7 seconds, 6.5 seconds. Alan Leung is going to get out in first place here still. First place here in the Pro-Am division for Alan Leung. He's got a 6-second lead to Marion Sassara. He's got a little bit more fuel, got a quick mental break. 14 minutes left to go in this race. Can Alan Leung hold a 6-second lead? Interesting enough, Daniel Hirsch is a second behind Marion Sassara. He's going to close that gap quick. Marion Sassara is not required to give him position. But as always, it's really interesting to see what drivers choose to do. It would be in Marion's best interest to let Daniel through where he can lose as minimal time as possible. And that will allow him to not lose any time, get right behind him. If you can kind of try to tail along with him the best that you can to allow you to overtake Alan Leung as he overtakes him. Will Sanchez was actually disqualified from the session. He must have sped through the pit lanes or got too many penalties somewhere. I don't want to say terrible. Unfortunate start for Will Sanchez to the season here. This was a great race for Will Sanchez leading up before these penalties. Huge improvement from where we have been the last 2 seasons. So big shout out to Will Sanchez. I'm excited to see what you can do this season, Will. Don't let this one race hold you down. We do have a drop round here in the standings for DRL. Your worst race will not count for the standings. So, Will, you used your drop early. Come back strong. Come back fierce. Daniel Hirsch has got through Sassara. He's let them through. Sassara's sitting 6/10 behind Daniel Hirsch. If he can hold it through, he kind of sit in his drift a little bit here and see how you can maybe look to make a move, put the pressure on Leung, try to let either him through, or he's got to defend Daniel Hirsch because he doesn't want to give up position also to Sassara. So use your opponents as pressure. As we're going to ride along with Arturis here, he is half a second behind Gav Cook. This is not probably going to be a spot to make a move, although he is closing quickly. I just don't think it's enough to see a pro-class driver be able to make a lunge. It's too risky of a spot. You're going to ruin your own race there. He's not going to, but if he can line this up well, coming into turn 3, he's going to have a great opportunity to put some pressure, maybe force a mistake. Let's look quickly at Daniel Hirsch. Daniel Hirsch is 6 seconds behind Alan Leung, and he has got 2 seconds ahead of Satsar. So Alan Leung is pushing the pace right now. He smells a win, and he is like a shark sniffing blood in the water. He wants it. Arturis Hermani's still chasing him down. Kyle Hirsch is still doing a good job of holding this gap. Currently at a 1.5 seconds to Neil Kerbel. Neil is not pit. Kyle is not pit. Gav is not pit. Hermanis is not pit. And Professor Chronotis has not pit. Interesting enough, Juan Lopez has pit. Juan Lopez is currently 39 seconds behind Professor Chronotis. He looks like he will jump. He will have undercut successfully Professor Chronotis. He is finding himself, 55, 56 seconds behind Hermanis. If Hermanis doesn't get into the pits relatively soon and Juan can keep closing that gap down, Juan may be able to undercut Hermanis as well. I don't quite think we're there for enough. I think Juan's going to have to start picking up his pace a little bit. He's going to have to find close to half a second over the next lap, maybe even a second over the course of the next couple laps to see if he's able to close this gap. But man, Hermanis is putting the pressure on Gav. I mean, he can't go much faster than he is. This time we're going down at 0.4 of a second. 0.3, 0.4, 0.3. We're right there. Can he close it down to 2? Is he close enough to look to make a move? Will he force Gav to get defensive? Gav is not getting defensive. Hermanis is moving to the middle, but this is just a feint. Making Gav think a little bit. Try to force a mistake somewhere. Kyle Hirsch has got the gap down to a second. Something to keep an eye on there. Where else can we look as we look up and down the grid here? Alan Leung, he's 5 seconds ahead of Daniel Hirsch right now. Marion Sassar is 3.5 seconds, so Alan Leung is holding that position. So we talked about battling strong, capturing every point you can as we go through. We look through for John Malott. Very unfortunate for him early in this race, but due to a disqualification, he's already made up at least one potential place. Where can he find more time as he goes through? John Malott is unfortunately off the track again. What a horrible time. Oh, as he's going to cut across. He probably did not see those drivers there, but I know that was what we call a code brown for Gav Cook right there. Somebody get Gav a new pair of underwear, and probably for Hermanis as well, because coming around a corner and seeing a car cut across the track is not exactly what you need to see when you are pushing the pace in the temple of speed. Gav Cook has gone off. Gav Cook went for a little ride on the beach. Gav, what are you thinking? What are you doing? Runs a little wide. He's just going to unsettle the car on the curb a little bit. Can't get the traction he needs. He's going to run wide. He's going to slide through the beach. A little beach volleyball for Gavin Cook. Gav, unfortunate. Neil Kerbel has pulled into the pit lanes here. That's going to open up Kyle Hirsch. It's going to free him up. Gav is trying to chase down Hermanis now. This is going to be a battle for the pit lanes. Gav is going to pull into the pit lanes. We also have Malott pulling into the pit lanes again. Probably pit for some repairs here. That is unfortunate. Who do we want to move to? Let's move to Ionis as he goes to look down Jim Kelly here. 1 second behind. Can he force a mistake somewhere? Moving through these first chicanes, nice and clean. We see Professor Chronotis starting to approach them from the back. Very few drivers have not successfully completed their pit stops. I actually realized John Malott did not successfully complete his pit stop earlier. So for some reason he didn't take fuel. Now he's taken fuel. So John's come back in again out of necessity. Chronotis, Hermanis, Hirsch have not pit. They have 2.5 minutes in order to get into the pit lanes before time expires. I think we'll see them come in this lap most likely. Let's look at where Kyle Hirsch is as he works his way down. What sound effects? High quality sound effects here at DRL. Kyle, like I said, I'm guessing he's pulling into the pit lane here. I mean, Kyle's got good pace here. And thankfully for Neo, Chronotis and Hermione's are going to move in. But Kyle doesn't have the gap right now to jump Kerbal, which I don't think is too surprising for anybody with the pace and skill of the great and powerful Neo Kerbal as we ride along with Kyle Hirsch of Hirsch Racing. And as predicted, he's going to pull into the pit lanes. Let's hop on with Hermione's here. Hermione's is going to pull into the pit lanes as predicted. We have Professor Chronotis who's coming around the turn, and I expect him to come in a 149 as his last lap. If he doesn't, he's going to find himself getting a penalty because there won't be enough time, and he comes in. All our drivers have successfully completed their pit stops. We ride along with Neo Kerbal, who has just got past Christopher Black in the beautiful Mountain Dew livery, as it's going to unleash him. He is going to have a nice gap. Well, he's actually coming down the main straight here. So it'll be interesting to see where Kyle Hirsch and Hermione's and Professor Chronotis come out. Kyle Hirsch is right there as he comes out. It's not going to be enough. And Christopher Black is not going to yield that position initially. He is right on the back. Christopher Black runs long. Imagine Christopher Black taking out Neo Kerbal there. Pressure on the rookie driver. He's still side by side. He's going to let Kyle Hirsch chase him down. He is about a second and a half behind Neo Kerbal. I don't quite think we have enough to chase him down, but Juan Lopez, Professor Chronotis was able to hold that position on Juan Lopez. Half a second, 4/10 of a second. Daniel Hirsch is closing on Alan Leung, 6/10 of a second. Ionis is also closing right now on Jim Kelly. We're going to watch this one because this is our closest battle. Rookie on rookie battle. Who's going to win it here? It looks like Ionis is not going to have enough to get through. Jim's going to hold that position, but Jonas is not ready to give it back. As we saw here with Gav just a few laps ago, it's easy rid. Oh my gosh! Jonas is going to smash into the wall. You pray that he's okay. Absolutely incredible contact there. You hate to see. Hopefully the rookie Jonas comes out of that car okay. All of these sim drivers, we put our lives on the line every single time that we buckle ourselves up into our sim rigs. But thankfully here at DRL, we have the highest safety standards, and we're proud to announce that no matter how bad the contact may be, no driver has found themselves seriously injured physically, although emotionally it might be a different story as we're riding along with Daniel Hirsch, chasing down Alan Leung. 2/10 right now. I gotta think Alan's just gonna concede this position here coming up as soon as he gets through this next turn. A nice long straight. Don't lose any time. Don't risk any contact, incidents, anything of that nature. You don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. He doesn't want to see it. Nobody wants to see it. A quick lift would be easy. Daniel's moving to the outside. He is going to give a quick lift. Daniel's going to get through. No harm, no foul. You save your race because we have 4 minutes left in this race. And Alan Leung is in first place. This is big for him. And he's got a 7.5 second gap to Marian Zathsara behind him. So this is big for Leung, a big victory if he can keep it on the track for the next 4 minutes. He doesn't even really need to push the pace too much because this is so close. Juan Lopez right now, 3/10 as he comes around. Car number 227 has gone off the track. That's Gannon Faust. Unfortunate for Gannon Faust. He's off the track. I don't want to quite go look and see where he's at because I want to see if Juan can make a move here. He is not able to. Gannon Faust, he's slowly recovering. John Malot's coming up on him. Will John be able to take another position back? It would be an incredible recovery drive for John, who's found himself, unfortunately, getting contacted in the wall, needing repairs, coming out 2 seconds right now behind Gannon Faust. Can he make up another position? This would be huge. Juan Lopez, speaking of making up positions, he's right there, 1/10 behind Professor Chronotis. Can he make a move? Can he make a dive? Can he force a mistake? He's going to take a little bit too much curb there. You hate to see it, but he's right there. He stayed on it. We're up to half a second. We're coming down towards the main straight here. We got one more, well, I guess maybe it's technically 2 turns. We got one more hairpin-ish looking turn coming through. Can Juan find a little time? Can he close that gap? Can he line himself up? Good exit speed. He's right there. 3/10. Coming down the main straight. 2 minutes left in the race. We have just a couple laps left. If there's any time to make a move, it's now. Professor Chronotis is holding that inside line. He's staying defensive. He's going to force Juan on the outside. As we approach the braking zone, he's going to move to that outside line, feeling confident that Juan is not going to make a late lunge. He's going to be able to hold that position through the chicane, line himself up. He needs a good exit here, and Professor Chronotis is going to get that good exit. Still 4/10 behind for Juan Lopez as he's going to make his way towards 3 and 4. The next chicane. Can he find some kind of opportunity? Can he force a mistake? Let's see. We approach the braking zone. Not yet. John Malot's right there. We're going to hop on with Malot as he looks to make a move on Gannon Faust. Veteran on rookie. Can John carve him up like a Thanksgiving turkey? He's going to line him up here as we go through the chicane. Gannon looks to absorb this pressure well. No mistakes for Gannon. Keep the pressure on John. A minute left in the race. We got battles right now between John Malott. We got battles between Juan Lopez and Professor Chronotis. Gannon's going to run a little wide. John's going to take that position from him. Say, thank you very much, Rook. Guess what you would call the equivalent of a DRL rookie dinner. Pull out that checkbook, Gannon, because you are paying John Malott. And with that, Professor Chronotis runs wide. This is going to open it up for John Malott. It's a race down the straight to this final turn. Juan Lopez has a great position here. He's got just a little bit of lead, but not enough overlap to be considered entitled the whole corner. He's going to have to share it. They're going to get close. They're going to bump. They're going to go wide. Contact here in one of the last laps. Juan's going to hold that contact. He's got to push it. Juan needs to find some recovery time because if it's deemed that he's at fault for that, he's going to get a penalty. Professor Chronotis is going to have to try to recover the best he can. This is going to land in the steward's lap, and this could be a big decision between 5th and 6th place between these drivers. The gap for Professor Chronotis has quickly gone up to 8 seconds. Juan Lopez has ran away with that a little bit. Let's hop on with Kyle Hirsch. Kyle Hirsch is currently chasing down... Who's he chasing down? Neil Kerbel in the lead. As I said that, we had Christopher Black who just got past Ionis. Let's go back and see if we can watch a quick replay. How did this happen? Christopher Black is just holding position as far as this replay goes. So we're going to just watch these two skilled drivers for the next 5 seconds. Before we hop back on with Kyle Hirsch, we're just going to jump over to them as replay ends. Kyle Hirsch is 8/10 behind Neil Kerbel. We see the white flags. This race is getting ready to end here as we finish our last couple laps here at DRL. Unfortunate for John Malott, something happened because he has... Oh, well, I guess he passed Gannon Faust, but he was a few laps behind him. So, unfortunate for John Malott. I did think he took the place back. With that said, half a second for Kyle Hirsch as we wrap our way through. Will they fly the checkered flags here? Will this be the end of the race? Let's see. We got one more lap as expected. No, they pulled the checkered flag. Neil Kerbel's going to get the victory. Bert, thank you for subscribing for 19 whole months. Incredible. We thank you for all your support, Bert Macklin. As we see Neil Kerbel, he's going to pull off the first win of this season, continuing his streak from Season 8. Kyle Hirsch finds himself in second place, and Arturas Hermanis is going to find himself on the podium in his first pro race. The Bucking Devil, welcome to the stream. Thank you for chatting with us. Go Kerbel, the great and powerful Neil Kerbel, the sommelier, the curator of cats. But we have Hermanis also, who gets the podium in the pro class. We have Juan Lopez, or we have Gav Cook in 4th, Juan Lopez in 5th, Professor Chronotis in 6th, Tarugo in 7th. He's going to finish ahead of Daniel Hirsch in 8th. We're going to follow along with Alan Leung here. Alan Leung is coming. He's going to cross the line. Congratulations on a first victory here in the Pro-Am class for Alan Leung. Not his first victory ever, but his first victory of Season 9. Many more to come. Marion Sassara, 2nd place. And Jim Kelly, let's ride along with you as you're going to be our last driver to cross the finish line here with a podium in 3rd place for rookie Jim Kelly. Jim, welcome to DRL. You're going to find yourself on the podium in your very first race. In 4th place in the Pro-Am class was Christopher Black, another rookie. In 5th place, Ioannis Kaianis. In 6th place, Gannon Faust. In 7th place, John Millat. And in 8th place, we have Will Sanchez, who unfortunately was disqualified from the race. Incredible race tonight. Up and down the grid, there were battles everywhere. From qualifying, intense battles in the Pro-Am class, intense battles in the Pro class. Then we went out there in the race and we saw great battles between Gav Cook and the Hirsch brothers, Hermanis and Juan Lopez. Don't forget about Professor Kronotis mixing his name in there. We saw Satsar and Leung battle it out. We saw all the rookies battling it out. John Millat chasing down people. I can't think of a single driver who had a bad race tonight. Incredible start to Season 9, and it is just the beginning of what Season 9 has to offer. The stories are going to develop. The rivalries are going to develop. The battles are going to develop. It's our own little version of Drive to Survive here at the Degenerate Race League. Give me just a minute to get our next thing set up here while I see who is interested in a interview.
The race is on, wheels burning rubber, we're never wrong. Power in the engines, fire in our veins, in the DRL, we break the chains. No brakes, no fear, no slowing down. The checkered flag is calling, we're the crown. Degenerate Race League, where the tough survive. Living for the moment we're born to drive. Steel and speed, we own the track. No looking forward, 'cause we won't look back. From the streets to the asphalt, we own it all. Rising like thunder.
All right, caught my breath for a second here after what was an incredible race tonight. We talked about it up and down the grid. Drivers were battling. An incredible performance by our rookie drivers. Huge shout out to all of them. They came out, they fought well, they raced hard, they fought hard, they raced clean, they respected the rules that you'd expect to see out there. Incredible by the rookie drivers, it sounds so easy and obvious to do, but it isn't always easy and obvious. And there's a huge adjustment period that comes from moving from open lobbies to league racing, and they have done an incredible job. Every single driver today was excellent. We saw contact here and there. Ultimately, though, that is racing, and incidents do happen. Let's see. Neil Kerbel pulled off another victory. Neil Kerbel has dominated in Season 8, and he's starting out Season 9 with total domination. We had, looking at the Pro-Am class, we had Alan Leung come back with a big win. Alan Leung quietly found himself on the podium in Season 8, and here he is back battling it out, taking a victory, looking to become a 3-time DRL champion. But I know Marian Satsara, he's a sophomore here, and he is hungry for a win. He's going to feel like he got ripped off tonight. This should have been his victory, and I know he's going to want it. He's going to come back hungry and strong next race. We have a couple of drivers looking for an interview here, so let's pull them into the stream here. First off is going to be second place podium holder of the Pro class from Team Hirsch Racing, Kyle Hirsch. Kyle, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Hold on one second, Kyle, because I can't hear you and stream can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
There we go. Good.
Okay, I just hadn't talked.
it was you, not me. Kyle, great race tonight. Starting off Season 9, you find yourself second place on the podium. How does it feel to be back?
It feels really good to be back. I finally had had a race where I was comfortable. Back in a car I really enjoy. Everything felt like it clicked again tonight, which was really nice.
Yeah, it was, and it was a great race for you. Before we continue, Kurium says greetings and congratulations, Arium. Kurium, thank you for hopping in here. Thank you for chatting with us. We appreciate you popping in. So, Kyle, it seemed like the start of the race wasn't maybe what you were hoping for. Very interesting how it played out in qualifying. It was an intense qualifying session for both classes, especially in pro, and you saw a lot of drivers separated by tenths of seconds. But you found yourself a few places down the grid, and you had to make your way through. What was your strategy starting the race? Is it kind of where you expected to land, or did you maybe have to alter your mindset going into the start of this race?
I first off, that qualifying was, as you said, amazing. Like I qualified a little higher than I was expecting. Um, I and then when I looked over at the leaderboard and saw Daniel on pole, I wanted to be mad, but I was more proud. It was a proud brother moment. But I was like, wow, he dethroned the great Kerbal for a qualifying session. So it was good to see another name on top. And then in the race, it was that first lap was more seat of the pants. I didn't have any plan going into that. The only plan I had was not to die. And then everything else, I was just kind of playing it by what was happening around me. And the three wide going into turn one was definitely scary.
Yeah, we were watching that along, and I think it was Hermanis who ended up being the one to kind of pull out of that first a little bit, and almost cost him a position from Juan Lopez. But yeah, you make a great point that in Monza, first lap is really survival, especially going into those first couple turns because you're all bunched up and you're all going so fast. But it doesn't matter how you qualify. Doesn't matter even how you start. What matters is how you finish, and you found yourself in second place. What do you think this season holds for you?
Hopefully, my first win. That's what I would like. It's a good calendar for me. There's a lot of tracks that I really like on the calendar, so I'm hoping to be a lot more competitive this season. And then so yeah, I'm gunning for podiums and really trying to get that first win this season.
Yeah, that's awesome, and I'm glad to hear that you're excited about the schedule because I know a lot of drivers aren't excited about the schedule. There's a lot of tracks on here that we don't normally race season after season. We really kind of mixed it up this year, so it'll be really exciting to see how this plays out. He's a hard, like you said, he's the great Neil. He's going to be a hard rival to take down, but we all here in chat, we all here on stream, we all here at DRL are rooting for you, podium after podium. Hopefully we'll see you take that top step at some point this season, and we look forward to what should be a really exciting season for the pro class. So thank you so much for hopping in, Kyle. We're so excited to have you back for another season. We're excited to be back starting off 2026 with a very exciting race, and we look forward to kind of following your story this season.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for what you guys do. Thank you for manning the booth. It's always fun to watch the races back. You do a great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, we get Kyle out of here, and next up we have Arturus Hermanis. Arturus Hermanis, welcome to the stream. What a
Hello.
race for you tonight.
Absolutely. I'm overjoyed and just I can't stop smiling.
Yeah, it was welcome back, right? And I laughed because, we had our little moment on stream talking about Scrub Daddy and talk about a good sponsorship. You sat there
Absolutely.
lap after lap absorbing the pressure, whether it came from Chronotis or whether it came from Juan. But I laughed because Season 9 starts right where Season 8 left off with another tight battle between you and Juan, sitting there lap after lap after lap. And I got to say, I don't know how you did it here tonight. I don't think I saw a single mistake made, and it was just Mr. Consistency out there. So, talk to me about your mindset through this race and the pressure you must have been feeling.
Yeah, I was glad that there were no major mistakes, spins or anything. I will admit there were a couple of times I went a little deep in some corners, but I never really went off track. It was just off the racing line. So no major mistakes, and I think just focusing on every corner instead of looking at the delta, looking at the relatives, how far am I, where should and not changing up the racing line from what I've practiced and done in qualifying. Because if you start, where can I improve during the race? That's where you're gonna spin. You need to do what you know and keep in 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 keeping doing that. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
no,
correct.
you love to get into the mind of such an expert driver. It's like listening to Tom Brady explain how to throw a football on Sunday Night Football. But Chad is going crazy right now. They are all talking about how you scared Gav right off the track, and they love this race. Just it was so exciting, and we followed a lot of your race because it was just so close. With every
always
lap,
close.
you were half a second or less from somebody. When you're going through a lap where it feels like there's no break, do you find that you thrive under that, or do you find that like when you pull into your pit stop, you're like, holy shit, I need to breathe for a minute?
Honestly, the pit stop is the opposite because then I get more panic of, did the others feel for less? Will I get out ahead of them? It makes me more stressed being in the pits. I'd rather be on track and know that I am how far I am ahead. Because I don't know, will I hit the pit box? Will I not mess up my own pit stop?
Yeah, and it
Pits
is.
actually make me more stressed.
Yeah, and when you're talking about half-second margins, there's really no room for mistake. So you come here, correct me if I'm wrong here, but as a back-to-back Pro-Am champion or silver champion, whatever you want to call it, we'll call it Pro-Am for the sake of this discussion, and you find yourself in the pro class, and you find yourself with some titans of DRL like Neil Kerbel, the Hirsch brothers, Gav Cook. Did you come to this mindset of, I'm going to finish this race on a podium, I'm going to find myself battling for pole position with these guys, or were you a little surprised in your own performance and how competitive you were?
I was a little bit surprised with my performance because in qualifying, my lap time was about a half a second faster than what I've done in any practice ever. So that surprised me. But then that put me in the mindset, okay, I can battle. And then I never looked back, basically. Then I was just, whatever opportunity I have, whatever car will be ahead of me, I will battle them. I will not just like, it's Kerbal, there's no point in racing him. I will not have that mindset, and I think I will try to eradicate that mindset completely this season because, well, I'm in the same category as them. I have to fight them.
Absolutely. And I mean, not only are you in the same category as them, but you are in third place right now for this season. You are absolutely competing still for a title. No one's ran away with it yet. We are so excited to follow along with your story, your journey as you make your first step into the pro class. I personally think that you're going to find massive improvements as you force yourself to push the pace a little bit. You, Juan, Tarugo, are all drivers who are moved up a class, and I believe that all three of you guys will really rise to the occasion. I'm so excited for what this season has to hold for you. So congratulations on a great start to Season 9. Cannot wait to see what you do next week, which I believe is a mystery track. I'll have to pull up the schedule here in a minute, but kind of shake things up right away with the mystery track and, take all that practice away. But excited to be back, excited for another great race. One last thing before you go is you will have to DM me or hop in a voice chat with me this week and walk through how to say your team name. Go back, watch the stream. I made an attempt at it.
I made it very difficult for this season.
I probably butchered it really bad. But you'll definitely get a laugh out of that. But yeah, Artis, great race tonight. Really, really enjoyed watching your race. What a battle, and can't wait to see what else you have in store this season.
Yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to it as well. Have a good one.
All right, and with that, we are going to conclude our interview portion of this stream. Let's go back quickly and wrong one. Let's go back quickly and look at our schedule. We wrapped up Monza, an exciting race tonight. Then we're going to go to our mystery track next week. If you're new here and you haven't seen how the mystery tracks work, here's what's going to happen. At 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or Daylight Time, whatever we're on right now, but at 8 p.m. Pacific, we're going to go in Discord with these drivers and we're going to spin a wheel. That wheel is going to contain every track that's not on your screen right now. That's going to land on a track, and that's where we're racing tonight. Usually the drivers have a week plus notice, right? We know in 2 weeks we'll be in Misano, then Valencia. They're going to have no idea. So what have we done? We've taken their practice ability away. Everyone's going to get 1 hour practice on the track, and then we're going to a race. 1 hour is not a lot of time to learn a track, figure out a setup, get your braking points down. So what does that mean? It means chaos, especially if you get a highly technical track or a track that a lot of people don't drive. Personally, I am hoping in one of these two mystery tracks that Bathurst gets pulled. I think it would be horribly chaotic, but a lot of drivers love it, so they'll be somewhat familiar with it. So I think it would be so exciting. But next week, it'll be a mystery track, so we'll find out together. We'll get on stream, we'll spin the wheel, and we'll figure out where we're going. After that, we're going to find ourselves in Misano, the big 3 M's, Monza, Mystery, Misano, to start this season. After that, we're going to head over to Valencia. Then we're going to do the 24-hour Nürburgring in a reverse grid. Again, depending on the standings, so the last place pro driver will get pole position, and we'll go from there. And then we get to the Pro-Ams. It'll be the last place Pro-Am gets pole position and work down to the leader in the class. What will be interesting about the 24-hour Nürburgring is it's just really mixing up the order. The faster drivers will want to try to get by as quick as possible. But the Nürburgring is the Nürburgring. It's such a long track that it's brutal on the drivers to remember all the corners, especially if you don't have the experience. So the drivers are really going to have to put in the practice there. But because there's a reverse grid, we will not be doing a qualifying session. We'll just dive right into the race in the reverse grid. After that, we're going to head to Hungary. Hungary is a very interesting track. It's a track kind of like Suzuka in a way, in which you really got to kind of find your flow on the track, or you can make a lot of mistakes. It's easy to force mistakes on drivers too, filling up mirrors, distract them just a little bit. Then we're going to head off to Zolder. Zolder is one of my personal favorite tracks to drive, so really excited to watch a race along there. And then we're going to round out the track with round out the season with a mystery track. This is the first time, I think, in DRL history we're ending the season on a mystery track. This could play out to be exciting. You may have a battle coming down for a championship, a few points of a difference, and the drivers are going to have zero time to practice it or prepare leading up to that week. It's all going to come down to who can make it happen. 1 hour of practice, 1 hour of racing for the glory. Well, 45 minutes, but we'll call it an hour. An hour of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, 45 minutes to glory for a DRL title. It's going to be so exciting this season. I can't wait to see how the season unfolds. I can't wait to get here with you guys next week for our mystery track. Before we call it a night here, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of our Patreon subscribers. It is so appreciated, all your love and support that you give to us at DRL, and really a shout out to our whole community. Each and every one of you, we love that you've joined us, you spend time with us, whether you're a viewer who's taken time out of their day or night to spend a little time in here. Just thank you so much for that. And yeah, we can't wait for next week. Before I finish the stream here, I do want to give a quick shout out to Ionis, one of our rookie drivers. He did race. He is getting ready to graduate in just a couple hours. So Ionis, from all of us here at DRL, a huge congratulations on your graduation. We hope you enjoy your special day. A great start to your day with an amazing race for you, an exciting race, and we hope you celebrate it. So thank you all so much for spending some time here tonight. My name's Dan Delatorre here with DRL, and I cannot wait to see you next week for our mystery track.